There are places on Earth that completely defy everything science knows. Places where gravity fails, where time seems to stop, where animals turn to stone and people vanish without a trace. This isn't about theories, these are documented facts, studied and still unanswered. Many of these places remain a mystery even after decades of scientific investigation. And the scariest part? Some of them are closer than you might think. In this video, you'll discover the 7 most mysterious places on Earth that make no sense to human logic. Get ready for real stories that feel like something from another world. And at the end, a location that may hold the key to understanding how life could exist even beyond Earth. Watch until the end. You'll come away from this video with your mind completely blown. Number 7. Lake Natron, the lake that turns animals to stone. In Tanzania, hidden in a remote corner of the Rift Valley, lies Lake Natron, one of the most fascinating and eerie places on the planet. Its calm appearance, with reddish waters and stunning reflections, hides a dark secret. This lake can petrify animals that come into contact with it. Why does this happen? The answer lies in its unique chemical composition. Lake Natron is extremely alkaline, with a pH ranging from 9 to 10.5, almost as alkaline as ammonia or household bleach. This is due to the high concentration of sodium carbonate and other mineral salts deposited in the region over millions of years, mostly because of volcanic activity. When animals enter the water, these compounds react with their skin and tissues, causing calcification. On top of that, the lake's temperatures can reach an astonishing 60 degrees Celsius, creating a deadly environment for almost all forms of life. The carcasses of birds and other animals, often found along the shore, appear petrified, as if they were turned into stone statues. Lake Natron is part of the Great Rift Valley, a massive geological fault that runs through eastern Africa. The lake is primarily fed by the Hoya-Baciu River and mineral-rich hot springs. However, it has no natural outlet, meaning all the water that flows into it evaporates under the region's intense heat. This evaporation process further concentrates the salts in the water, making it an even more hostile environment. The lake's reddish color, especially during dry seasons, is caused by the growth of halophilic microorganisms, such as certain species of cyanobacteria. These microorganisms not only survive, but thrive in these extreme conditions, coloring the water red and orange thanks to pigments they produce to protect against sunlight. How does life survive in Lake Natron? Though it seems uninhabitable, Lake Natron supports a few remarkable life forms that have adapted incredibly well. Among the most notable residents are the lesser flamingos, Phoeniconias minor. This lake is one of their largest breeding grounds, with millions gathering to nest on the salt islands formed within the lake. But how do flamingos survive? Physiological adaptations. Flamingos have tough legs and skin that protect them from the lake's alkaline and scorching waters. Natural safety. The lake acts as a barrier against predators. The extreme environment is nearly inaccessible to other creatures, making it a safe haven for the birds. Other life forms include specific species of tilapia, such as Alcolapia alcalica, which have evolved to live in these harsh conditions, a testament to nature's extraordinary resilience. The science behind the petrification. The petrification of animals is caused by a process known as calcification. When creatures come into contact with the highly alkaline water, the minerals react with their organic tissues, coating them in a layer of calcium carbonate. Over time, these carcasses harden, creating the appearance of having turned to stone. However, contrary to what many believe, these animals don't turn to stone instantly. They usually die from the heat, alkalinity, or toxicity of the water, and their bodies are then preserved by the lake's unique conditions. Photographer Nick Brandt, through his work on Lake Natron, brought the world stunning images of these petrified carcasses, fueling global fascination with the sight. His photos captured birds and bats in hauntingly lifelike poses, as if frozen in time. Even though much has been discovered about Lake Natron, it still holds mysteries. For example, species adaptation. How did flamingos and fish evolve to thrive in such an extreme environment? Climate change. What would happen to the lake's ecosystem if global warming drastically altered evaporation or rainfall patterns? Preservation power. Could the lake's minerals be used to preserve human tissue or materials in ways science hasn't yet explored? Beyond its ecological importance, Lake Natron offers a fascinating glimpse into life's adaptability and the limits of what we define as habitable. It's also a powerful reminder that there is still so much to learn about our own planet, and perhaps one day, about others with equally extreme conditions. After all, if life forms can thrive in Lake Natron, couldn't they also survive in environments like the oceans of Titan, one of Saturn's moons, or in the deserts of Mars? Lake Natron is more than just a geographic curiosity. It is a true natural wonder that challenges our scientific understanding and reveals the astonishing resilience of life. As we gaze at these deadly waters, we are reminded that even under seemingly impossible conditions, life finds a way, and that our planet still holds secrets that may never be fully uncovered. Would you be brave enough to visit Lake Natron and witness these phenomena up close? Leave a comment below sharing what intrigued you most about this incredible place. And don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who loves nature's mysteries. Number 6, the Zone of Silence, Mexico's Bermuda Triangle. In the heart of the Chihuahuan Desert in northern Mexico, there is a region that seems to defy the laws of physics and technology, the Zone of Silence. This mysterious area, officially known as the Mapimi Basin, has gained notoriety for being a place where radio signals vanish, compasses spin wildly, and even satellites face navigation issues. What happens in the Zone of Silence? Reports of strange phenomena began in the 1970s, when a test missile from the United States Air Force veered off course and mysteriously crashed in the area. Upon investigating the accident, scientists noticed something peculiar. Electronic equipment stopped working, and radio signals disappeared completely, as if the area were surrounded by an invisible barrier. But what could be causing this? Experts suggest the area has intense magnetic anomalies, similar to those found in the Bermuda Triangle. However, some theories point to the presence of underground mineral deposits or even a possible interaction with Earth's natural geomagnetic fields. Strange events and unexplained reports. The Zone of Silence is also known for an impressive number of unexplained phenomena, including mysterious lights in the sky. Many local residents claim to see glowing orbs floating above the area. Strange human-like apparitions. Stories of people encountering mysterious figures, described as tall blonde visitors, are frequent. According to reports, these figures are polite but vanish without a trace. Lack of wildlife. Although it is a desert, wildlife in the Zone of Silence seems scarce, and certain plants exhibit unexplained mutations. Science or the supernatural? Although researchers have tried to study the area, there is no consensus on the causes of these phenomena. Some believe the magnetic anomalies are the result of iron-rich meteorites that have fallen in the region over the centuries. The Chihuahuan Desert is known for housing fragments of ancient meteorites. Other bolder theories suggest that the Zone of Silence could be a point of anomalous energy, similar to mystical places around the world, like Stonehenge or the Nazca Lines. For local residents, however, scientific explanations are not enough. To them, the area is a gateway to the unexplained. If you had the chance to explore the Zone of Silence, would you do it? What do you think lies behind these mysteries? Share your opinion in the comments. Number 5. The Door to Hell, the Darvaza Crater in Turkmenistan. In the heart of the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan, there is a place that seems to have come straight out of a legend or an apocalyptic movie. The Darvaza Crater, also known as the Door to Hell. This giant hole, more than 60 meters wide and 20 meters deep, has been burning for over 50 years, lighting up the night sky with a surreal and terrifying glow. Despite its hellish appearance, this fascinating site remains relatively unknown to the general public. But what exactly is the Door to Hell, and how did it come to be? The accident that created Hell. The origin of the crater dates back to the 1970s during the Soviet era. Geologists were exploring the desert in search of natural gas deposits, one of the region's main resources. During drilling, they accidentally hit an underground cavern filled with gas. The ground collapsed, creating the crater we know today, and large amounts of methane began to escape. Concerned about the environmental impact and the risk of gas poisoning, scientists decided to ignite the crater, believing the gas would burn off in a few days. However, what was meant to be a temporary solution turned into an eternal spectacle. Decades later, the gas is still burning, fueling flames that never go out. What makes the Door to Hell so fascinating? The Darvaza crater is a mix of hypnotic beauty and looming danger. Its intense flames illuminate the surrounding area, creating a surreal contrast with the dark and silent desert. The heat near the crater is so intense that few dare to get too close. From a distance, the orange glow of the flames can be seen lighting up the night sky, attracting curious visitors and adventurers from all over the world. It is one of the most unique places on Earth, offering a rare glimpse into the untamed power of nature and human intervention. Though it seems unlikely, the area surrounding the crater is rich in biodiversity. Insects and small animals drawn by the heat occasionally appear near the edge despite the danger. Scientists are also studying resilient microorganisms that live on the crater's rim, surviving in extreme heat and toxic gas conditions. These studies are important to understand how life can thrive in extreme environments, including beyond Earth, such as on planets with methane-rich atmospheres. Despite its relative obscurity, the Door to Hell has become an intriguing destination for adventurous travelers. Many brave the desert journey to witness this peculiar wonder up close. The Turkmen government, recognizing its tourism potential, has started promoting the site as a must-see attraction. However, the crater's future is uncertain. There are plans to close it, both for safety reasons and to reduce the environmental impact of the burning gas. More than a geological accident, the Darvaza crater symbolizes the delicate relationship between humanity and natural resources. It serves as a reminder of the unforeseen consequences of our actions and the uncontrollable power of nature. Curiosities about the Door to Hell. Impressive size. The crater has gigantic dimensions, with a diameter of over 60 meters, equivalent to a 20-story building in width. Eternal flames. The crater's fire is fueled by natural gas, one of Turkmenistan's greatest resources. Evocative name. The nickname Door to Hell was given by local residents, impressed by the apocalyptic sight of the constant flames. If you had the chance, would you visit the Darvaza crater? What do you think about this combination of human error and natural spectacle? Leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with someone who would love to discover such an unusual place. Number 4. Hoia-Baciu Forest, the Bermuda Triangle of Romania. In Transylvania, a region already shrouded in mystery and legend, lies the Hoia-Baciu Forest, considered one of the most haunted places in the world. This is no ordinary woodland. It exudes a dark energy with twisted trees, oppressive silence, and stories that make even the most skeptical question the unknown. What makes the Hoia-Baciu forest so frightening? It all begins with the trees. The unusual, almost contorted shapes of their trunks look like something out of a nightmare. But the strange reports go beyond appearances, unexplained disappearances. People who enter the forest report feeling disoriented, and some have vanished for hours or even days with no memory of what happened. Luminous phenomena, inexplicable lights, often described as glowing spheres floating in the air, are frequently seen at night. Ghostly apparitions. Local residents tell stories of voices and children's laughter echoing through the forest, even when no one is around. The case of the missing shepherd. One of the forest's oldest tales is about a shepherd who centuries ago entered the woods with his flock of 200 sheep and was never seen again. Since then, Hoia-Baciu has earned a reputation as a kind of vortex where people simply vanish. Another curious account occurred in the 1960s when a biologist named Alexandru Sift was exploring the area. He took several photos, but when developing them, he noticed humanoid shapes that hadn't been there when the shots were taken. The mysterious circle in the heart of the forest. At the center of Hoia-Baciu, there is a circular clearing where nothing grows, as if the soil were dead. Studies have been conducted there, but no concrete explanation has been found for the lack of vegetation. Some believe this clearing is a portal to another dimension, while others suggest it might be a UFO landing site. Theories about the phenomena. Skeptics attribute the reports to natural causes, such as phosphine gas, that could cause the lights or even hallucinations induced by isolation in the forest. However, even experts cannot fully explain the phenomena. Those who believe in paranormal events see Hoia-Baciu as one of the most active supernatural energy sites in the world. It has been called the Bermuda Triangle of Romania due to its similarities with the mysterious region in the Atlantic. Would you dare explore the Hoia-Baciu forest? Comment below yes or no and explain why. Would you face the mysteries of this haunted place? Number 3. The mysterious sinkholes of the Dead Sea. A sign of something bigger. The Dead Sea, famous for its hypersaline waters and biblical history, is now the scene of a phenomenon as intriguing as it is alarming. Around its shores, enormous holes, some dozens of meters deep, have begun to appear unexpectedly. These sinkholes have puzzled scientists, alarmed locals, and raised a question: are we witnessing a simple natural process or something much greater? What are sinkholes? Sinkholes are holes that form due to the collapse of the ground over an underground cavity. In the case of the Dead Sea, the phenomenon is directly linked to its unique geology. The region is rich in salt deposits accumulated over thousands of years. When underground water dissolves these salt layers, the soil loses its stability, leading to sudden collapses. Over the past 50 years, more than 6,500 sinkholes have been recorded along the shores of the Dead Sea. Most alarming is that these holes are appearing at an increasingly rapid pace, turning the landscape into an unstable and dangerous terrain. The main cause, identified by experts, is the dramatic drop in the Dead Sea's water level. This retreat is due to two main factors: human activity. The intensive use of the Jordan River, the main source feeding the Dead Sea, for irrigation and human consumption, has significantly reduced the water flow reaching the sea. Accelerated evaporation. The region's hot and arid climate contributes to intense evaporation, further reducing the sea level. With less water to support the weight of the salt layers, underground cavities become more prone to collapse, resulting in sinkholes. In addition to human activity, global climate change may be playing a significant role in this phenomenon. Rising temperatures and decreasing rainfall in the region have intensified the water crisis. This leads to a vicious cycle. The more water evaporates, the more the salt layers are exposed to dissolution and the more sinkholes form, Could the Dead Sea be a reflection of what might happen in other parts of the world vulnerable to climate change? The consequences of sinkholes. The impacts go far beyond geology, safety risks. Sinkholes pose a direct threat to people living or working near the area. Numerous reports have documented holes appearing suddenly, destroying roads, farmland, and even tourist areas. Economic impact. The Dead Sea region is well known for tourism and mineral extraction. The expansion of sinkholes has made these activities increasingly difficult, threatening the local economy. Environmental loss. As the water level decreases, the Dead Sea's unique ecosystem also faces collapse. Species adapted to the sea's extreme conditions are under threat, and coastal areas are being irreversibly transformed. Is the Dead Sea dying? Many scientists believe that the Dead Sea, as we know it, could disappear in less than 50 years if no action is taken. The sinkholes are merely one symptom of a larger problem: the unsustainable use of water resources in the region and the inability to control the effects of climate change. Although the situation seems alarming, efforts are being made to try to save the Dead Sea. Red Sea Dead Sea Canal Project, an ambitious plan to build a canal that would pump water from the Red Sea into the Dead Sea. This would help stabilize the water level and slow the formation of new sinkholes. Water conservation. Reducing the use of water from the Jordan River and implementing more efficient irrigation practices are crucial measures to ease pressure on the Dead Sea. Geological monitoring. Advanced equipment is being used to monitor sinkholes and predict where new ones might appear, helping to protect the local population. Despite understanding the causes of sinkholes, the phenomenon still carries an element of mystery. Why do these holes appear in certain areas more than others? Is there a connection to seismic activity or other geological processes not yet understood? Furthermore, the Dead Sea forces us to face a deeper question. Is humanity prepared to deal with the consequences of its own actions on the environment? Number 2. Mount Rorima, the enchanted mountain of South America. Located at the tri-border area between Brazil, Venezuela, and Guyana, Mount Rorima is one of the most impressive and mysterious geological formations on Earth. With its vertical cliffs and flat top that seems to float above the clouds, this tepui, as the plateaus in the region are called, is considered one of the oldest places on the planet, dating back approximately 2 billion years. But what makes Mount Rorima so fascinating? Mount Rorima is composed of sandstone, a type of rock extremely resistant to erosion. Its peculiar appearance, with abrupt edges and a completely flat summit, has intrigued scientists for decades. As one of the Earth's most ancient geological formations, it is believed to be a remnant of a massive plateau that existed before the continents separated. Over billions of years, erosion sculpted Mount Rorima and its sibling tepuis, leaving these geological islands isolated from the rest of the world. That is why the area harbors unique flora and fauna, with species found nowhere else on Earth. At the summit of Mount Rorima, the scenery is surreal. Bizarre rock formations. The rocks take on sculpted shapes, resembling human figures, animals, or objects. Natural pools, small lakes and crystal-clear rivers are scattered across the plateau, many with water so pure it's almost unbelievable. Constant mist. The mountaintop is often shrouded in fog, which adds to the feeling of mystery and isolation. Due to its geographic isolation, Mount Rorima has developed a unique ecosystem. Many of the plant and animal species living there exist nowhere else in the world. One example is the carnivorous plants, such as Helianthera, which have adapted to the plateau's harsh conditions by capturing insects for nutrients. Additionally, the mountain is home to colonies of tiny frogs that cannot jump like other amphibians. This evolutionary trait is attributed to the plateau's unique environment, where there are few predatory threats. For the indigenous peoples of the region, Mount Rorima is considered a sacred place. The Pemon and Kapon tribes believe the mountain is the tree trunk of the world, meaning the pillar that connects the sky and the earth. One of the most famous legends tells the story of Macunaíma, a powerful mythological hero who lived at the top of Mount Rorima. It is said that he defied the gods and was punished, causing part of the mountain to break and fall, giving rise to its characteristic shapes. The site has also inspired modern stories, such as the novel The Lost World by Arthur Conan Doyle, which describes an isolated plateau inhabited by dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures. Climbing Mount Rorima is no easy feat. Although there are trails leading to the top, the ascent is exhausting, with steep sections and unpredictable weather. But for those who manage to reach the plateau, the experience is truly transformative. At the top, there's a feeling of being in another world, with landscapes that seem to have come straight from another planet. Many explorers report a unique spiritual connection when visiting the place, reinforcing the aura of mystery that Mount Rorima carries. Scientists continue to study Mount Rorima to better understand its geology, biology, and evolutionary history. It is considered a true natural laboratory, especially in regard to endemic species and unique geological formations. Moreover, Mount Rorima is a source of inspiration for astrobiology studies. It is believed that the plateau's extreme conditions may offer clues about how life could survive in hostile environments, such as on Mars or on the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn. If you could visit Mount Rorima, what would you be most excited to see? The rock formations, the unique fauna, or the surreal landscapes at the top? Leave your answer in the comments and share this video with someone who loves discovering incredible places on our planet. Number 1. Mobile Cave, Romania's secret cave. Hidden beneath a seemingly ordinary landscape in Romania lies a place so strange and isolated that many call it a window to another world. Mobile Cave is one of the most fascinating and mysterious discoveries in modern science. Cut off from the outside world for approximately 5.5 million years, this cave houses a completely isolated ecosystem where unique creatures thrive in conditions that would be lethal to nearly any other living being. The cave was discovered by accident in 1986 during excavation for a construction site. When researchers made their way inside, they encountered an environment that seemed like something out of a nightmare. An underground space filled with toxic gas, total darkness, and suffocating humidity. Despite the extreme conditions, they quickly realized something incredible. The cave was teeming with life. Since then, Mobile Cave has been the focus of intense scientific research. The alien ecosystem of Mobile Cave. What's most astonishing about Mobile Cave is the existence of an ecosystem completely independent from the outside world. With no sunlight, the creatures that live there do not rely on photosynthesis to survive. Instead, the ecosystem is based on a process called chemosynthesis, in which bacteria transform toxic chemical compounds like hydrogen sulfide and methane into energy. Inside the cave, 33 unique species have been found, existing nowhere else on Earth. Among them, blind spiders, adapted to live in complete darkness, albino crabs, creatures that have never seen daylight, tiny worms and insects, able to survive in extremely low oxygen levels and air saturated with carbon dioxide. The interaction between these species and the bacteria that support the food chain creates an ecological system that seems more fitting for a distant planet than for Earth. Entering Mobile Cave is a challenge, even for the most experienced scientists. The environment is extremely hostile. Very little oxygen. The cave's air contains only 10% oxygen, less than half the level found in the normal atmosphere. High levels of toxic gases. The cave is rich in hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide, making it lethal to most forms of life. Constant temperature. The cave maintains a temperature of about 25 degrees Celsius, combined with a suffocating 100% humidity. These conditions make studying the cave a major challenge, requiring specialized equipment and limiting the time researchers can spend inside to avoid poisoning. Why is Mobile Cave so mysterious? Mobile Cave is not just an example of extreme isolation, but also a testament to how life can adapt and thrive in the most unimaginable conditions. The questions it raises are profound and still unanswered. How did these species evolve? The cave's extreme isolation meant the organisms developed unique traits that have no parallel in the outside world. What can Mobile teach us about other planets? The cave is often cited as a terrestrial analog for extraterrestrial environments, like the underground oceans of Europa, a moon of Jupiter, or the surface conditions on Mars. Are there more caves like this? Is Mobile Cave truly one of a kind, or could there be other isolated ecosystems waiting to be discovered somewhere on Earth? The discovery of Mobile Cave has had a profound impact on astrobiology, the study of life beyond Earth. If creatures can survive under such extreme conditions here, it is possible that similar forms of life could exist in equally hostile environments beyond our planet. Mobile proves that life does not need sunlight to thrive, but can rely on chemical sources, a characteristic common in celestial bodies like icy moons or planets rich in chemical compounds. In addition to being one of the most fascinating and mysterious places on Earth, Mobile Cave challenges our understanding of life's resilience and the limits of what is considered habitable. It forces us to expand our ideas about evolution, adaptability, and the potential for life in extreme environments, both on Earth and beyond. Did you know about the existence of Mobile Cave? What do you think about this isolated and mysterious ecosystem? Leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with anyone who loves exploring the deepest mysteries of our planet. These mysterious places show us that no matter how far science advances, there is still so much on this planet that remains unexplained. They are points where reality bends, where the impossible happens before our very eyes, and where we may find clues to something far greater than we can imagine. And if you, like us, are fascinated by these mysteries, YouTube has already picked 2 special videos for you to continue this journey right now. One reveals a secret buried for millennia, and the other might change everything you think you know about ancient history. Click and watch the next episode of this adventure into the unknown. The next mystery awaits.